You know the story.
Justice for Kaka! Justice for Tina! Justice for Tina! Justice for Tina! Justice for Rizzi! Justice for Rizzi! Justice for Kanti! Justice for Kanti!
And
Save that Awugele! Save that Awugele!
you know how it starts? You know how this ends. But there is something that has lived with me for a very long time, and I'd like to talk about it. A lot of people have done important work on EndSARS protests, and I'm sure that by now we all know the history of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS. But what I really want to talk about is the story of how we organized. It is starting like this.
People go down you. Oh, baby. Well, this EndSARS matter serious for really boy the best.
So it started on Sunday in Delta State. By Wednesday, people were coming out in Lagos. By Thursday, celebrities had started coming out too. But when protesters camped outside the government house at Alausa in Lagos, that was when things started to pick up. In the early hours of Friday, October 9, 2020, FK, one of the protesters, shared an interesting idea. People could send money which you would use for feeding protesters. Before noon, we had raised more than ₦1 million. Momentum. It was these things. People staying out at night. People organizing and sending money. It was all of these things that made me ask myself, say, my guy, come here. Why am I not out there with them? And that was how I ended up outside. I protested in Ibadan. By the time I showed up, a lot of people were already outside. Everywhere.
I didn't know how many people would come out, but I did, and everyone else did.
As someone who has been arrested by the police in Ilorin on multiple occasions, and having witnessed my friends getting assaulted and arrested too, I just thought that was the best time for me to stand up for myself and for my friends.
And at some point, things were looking like they were falling apart. While protesters were being dispersed in Abuja by policemen, a policeman in Delta State was reportedly killed in a clash. By Saturday, a passerby in Ogbomoso was shot as he watched people protest. They promised another round of reforms.
The disbanding of SARS is only the first step in our commitment to extensive police reform in order to ensure that the primary duty of the police and other law enforcement agencies remains the protection of lives and livelihoods of our people.
They talked tough and asked us to go home, but our resolve remained strong and the message got clearer and louder.
EndSARS now!
So now, people are coming together, right? The cohesion is coming, but it's not there yet. People need to get energized, right? So we got food for them.
I come concert, no be protest again. I don't chop. I chop more chop.
We needed to move the food around. That happened. People are gathering in different places because of the protest. We sent out private security. We had ambulances everywhere. All these things have cost, and people at home and abroad started to pay for them. What started as a way to get people fed became an opportunity to do even more. In all of this, we need to communicate effectively, right? Of course, we are Twitter, but another set of volunteers created helplines with over 20 phones. So all kinds of people with all kinds of ideas, building websites, writing stories, making videos, and lots of things online and offline. We just kept on organizing. You should have seen us. So what do you get when you take all these moving parts and you connect them together? You get a well-oiled, decentralized engine organizing around one central idea. Everything was working together. The international community was paying attention. Support was coming in from everywhere. Protesters were attacked, but we persisted. Water cannons, bullets, tear gas, and my God, the memes.
We will still tackle Buhari. He has been a bad boy. EndSARS. 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 And all of us.
They called for our leaders, but it was hard to pin it on anyone. We moved as a unit everywhere and we answered one call. It pissed them off. Blocked our bank account and we found alternative ways. Our support teams were chased and we just kept on going. In one place, in every place. We were not relenting until we got our request.
What do we want? What do we want?
But then there was one thing no one believed would happen. And it happened.
I wanted people to see what was happening. I didn't want anybody to come and twist the story.
We have not recorded any fatality as against the widespread circulation on social media.
The most consistent feeling we've all had, most of us, is defeat. It's like we did all that screaming and crying and dying, and it was all for nothing. Sorosuke became Japa. It sucks to feel like we put in everything and we got nothing. But I'd love to share another perspective. Sometimes things don't immediately look like progress because everything takes longer than we want. One thing leads to another and small things can roll over to become bigger things.
The Commission has so far published 36 weekly reports which show a consistent pattern of young Nigerians between the ages of 18 and 34 constituting the largest majority of registrants.
We came out for EndSARS protest. We understood what we were capable of achieving with our collective voices. And sure, the blessings cost us a lot. What I've learned is that when we come together, the things we can accomplish are limitless. And maybe learning this is why we marched. At the beginning, I thought I knew how this story ended. But now, I think the story has just begun. We must never forget.
As a people, with one song, with one voice, we're a nation undivided and poised. We will take us down and build our land. crime. SARS now supposed to be fighting crime. So they're not fighting crime. They're fighting people that they are supposed to be protecting. And we've had enough. EndSARS.